Righto, so what we're doing is we are going to do a couple of crimps. So we've got some 35mm cable here. This is copper cable. We are going to use a couple of different types of crimps. We've got our hydraulic crimp there. I hope that goes up to 35. Yes, it does. It's 35mm jig there. And then we're going to use mechanical crimps. So we're going to try these different crimps and see if we can see any difference, see if one's better than the other, see if there's much of a, see which one I'm going to use moving forward, I guess. But what we're going to do to prove it, I guess, is we've got a couple of crimps here. These are 35-6, so 35mm squared cable with a 6mm hole. And then I'm going to get this guy and I'm going to cut it. And I'm going to have a look and see if we can see any nasty little surprises, whether we're doing a good job, whether we're doing a bad job, whether I need to change my crimper tools and go to a far better type of crimper, or whether it's going to be okay and acceptable. We need to do that so that when we connect all of this stuff up, we know it's going to be right. Alright, let's get into it. So we might even use a couple of, do a few different sizes later on, but for now, today, we're just going to do these. Just going to strip this off, get it ready, check my blade depth, looks alright. Spinning around a few times. Yeah, maybe a tiny little bit too deep, but it's for, experimental purposes only, so I'm not going to get too carried away with it. And then I'm going to probably have to tidy that up a little. See the little burrs coming off the end there? I might tidy that up. There's my cutters. I've got parapeaks there. I just wonder where the hell. There we go. That's better. So now I've got a nice clean cut as opposed to the little burrs coming off the end there. Now what I'm going to do is line this up. 35-6. So get it lined up. What I want to be able to do is make sure that my copper's coming right at the end here. So line him up, get the right position there, and there we are. Bang. On. That should be perfect. Be able to slide that straight down over the top, twist him on. Might have to take a tiny little bit off the top, because what we don't want is that copper showing there. So I've done it too far. Let me just get that off. Make sure he's nice and neat. Get that in. Oops. Yeah, perfect. Alright, that's pretty good. So we see we've got no copper showing between the lug itself and the insulation. And it's right up the very end. I don't know if that's going to focus on that very well at all. That's right up the very end, the copper, and it's nice and snug, nice snug fit there. Alright, exactly what I want. So the first crimper tool I'm going to use is this one, the hydraulic. So we need our die, 35mm, two 35mm. There. Alright. Turn him around. Oops. Like so. So we've got them in there. And then move that. Make sure that that's on. Squish him right down. Try and get right up close to the eye here. There we go. Once it starts to bite, just move him a little bit. Once it starts to bite, I'll move it slightly. Get the cable right in there. Right. Good, so that's closed. There's no gaps between our jaws here. I'm going to release that. Just turn the little knob. I'm going to release it, stop it. Then I'm going to do a double crimp, just because I want to. Still a little bit of a gap. Right, turn him off. Right, so there we have it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my angle grinder and I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to have a look to see if we can see any air in there or any gaps between the copper itself and the lug. But before I do that, I'm going to do the same on the other end, but instead of using this crimping tool, I'm going to use this one. So we'll do it again. That off. And a little bit more blade this time. There we go. $35. There we go. Let's try that again. A little bit of a just twist him. I don't want any of those strands coming out. There we go. Twist him down on there. Ah, nice. Okay. Same again, I think I'm pretty happy with that. So that's butted right up against the edge of the lug itself and the copper is showing there. So let's set this to 35. I must have done some 35s not long ago. Let's have a look. This particular crimping tool here is made by Major. Oh, there you go. Look at that. I'm going to do the same thing again. Little stuff falling down. Probably the worst part about using these things is the size of the handles. They're so big, so awkward when you're trying to work with them on a boat. Some of you guys get them in there and under your armpits and everything else, that's all. That's cool. Yep. Nice and easy though. Open him right up. Get him through. Now I'll do a double crimp again. Same thing. So let's go get our angle grinder out and cut them off and see how they come up. Might need a battery. Oh, there we go. Put some safety glasses on and put some earbuds in. There we go. So there we have it. I've cut both of those. Now, let's have a look. So this is the one that was done with the hydraulic crimp. And this is the one that was done with the mechanical crimp. I'll have a look at the cable. Yeah. So what do I take away from that? I guess when I have a look at these, each of these ends, I can't see any difference at all. I really can't when you take a photo and you can expand it up a little bit more, you can sort of see a bit of a difference. But in all honesty, I think the hydraulic crimper did a better job. Yes or no? I don't know, but you can see some sort of pitting in the photo if you look at that photo that I took of the mechanical crimper, but that could have nothing to do with the crimper itself. That might be from when we cut it with the angle grinder, the sparks and everything else. It's hot, so that could have been from that. And that was the second one that I did, so maybe the blade was hotter when I cut through it, so there could be a reason there. Either way, I think moving forward, each of those crimpers has their place, there's no doubt about that. I think they're okay. But anyway, look, that's it. I'm going to do some more of this sort of testing and see how I go. I'm going to try a few different lugs and some other crimping tools and see how they come up. Please like and subscribe, guys, and that's it for now, and I'll see you on the next one.